We're live.
Yay!
Hi, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
Welcome from Thailand. We're also live on Facebook, by the way. You can watch us wherever you would like to watch us right now, live almost everywhere. Let us know how the sound quality is. I have a little bit of a bad feeling about Facebook, but yeah, let us know how you can hear us. I'm actually not going to do a watch party over on. It's just all the setup is taking ages. Let me see if I do a watch party. No, I can't even see it yet. Never mind, no watch party. So also, there's a little bit of a fun thing here. My battery is almost empty, so we might have a little bit of a time limit to all this. Just want to see comments if they come in. Okay, so now we should be good. All right, let's do this properly. Okay, welcome. I'm Christine. You know that you're on my channel. Do you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Okay, my name is Adela, and I am also working from here, from Lanta, and I'm a branding and strategy consultant, and I'm learning a lot about video and podcasting and all of these things.
And you can plug your channel right away if you want to.
Oh, okay, but like we'll just say
Yeah,
it
you want to
later.
later?
Don't worry.
Oh, I hope
Yeah.
we don't forget it.
That's okay.
Okay. So as you might see, this is not Clara. So
Sorry.
and Clara is not anywhere here. You would see her with the purple hair. She actually went back home today, so I'm a bit sad because I'm alone, but not really alone because I'm in this place here. But this is basically what I thought to talk about is solo travel, because normally I'm only traveling by myself, and this has been like for me like the very first time that I had somebody pretty much around me like the whole time, and I was really not used to it. But it was awesome. It was actually good. But I know that this can also go completely the other way, like if you have the wrong
Yeah.
person. So you never really know. So one thing, when I did a little bit of research on like solo travel, and I was really surprised that one of the first articles I found was about that it's almost like a religious experience if you do your very first solo travel.
Yeah, I do think there's like some self-discovery
Exactly, yeah, right.
thing to it, I have to say. Yeah, the first trip I took by myself, it was because, well, I had to, well, I'm from Spain. Spain, you take your holidays when you're working in a normal company, July or August, that's pretty much it. But I had to work all throughout summer, so I took my holidays mid-November and I had to take it there, and I was traveling for work to China, so I wanted to take like a week to explore China, but none of my friends could join, and I said, you know what, I want to do this anyway, and that's the first time I traveled by myself.
But that's amazing. So China is the very first ever solo trip.
It was pretty cool. I had been studying a little bit Mandarin at that point, so it was on one hand like, yeah, traveling by myself, whatever, and on the second, like pushing myself to try to interact with the locals. And but it was, you're forced to spend time with yourself, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
to think and to digest a little bit. I think, yeah, it is some sort of
Have
like,
you back in Spain? Were you used to spending a lot of time with yourself?
no.
So you were always around people. So it was
Yeah, so I'm the eldest of four siblings, right? And I was sharing a room with my sister until I left
Right.
for college, and then I was living in like dorms, whatever. And after that, I was sharing a room. I was living in Italy, and I was sharing a room with my friend, and then I was sharing a room with my best friend. So I was really used to being with people. It was really weird to spend the 8 days like
Yeah,
mostly by
because then it
myself.
actually sounds like a religious kind of
Yeah,
self-discovery
totally.
kind of trip. Yeah, I don't think I had that because it's like I've been very used to being by myself. Like I have a brother, but like once I hit like my teenage years and so on, I spent a lot of time just by myself because I grew up in a tiny village, and I learned just to be okay in my room, reading books or doing whatever. And once I can't even like I mean I guess when I left Germany with my backpack, that was like but that was a whole different feel because I left my home country basically for good. So it was a bit of a different feel. And of course, it was like fine because that was the point of the whole thing. But it's a bit of a weird one, and I'm so used to traveling by myself that every time, like I'm with a group, and we have to like have a discussion of which restaurant we go to or something, I go crazy.
Really?
Yeah. I'm just like, because it's for me, if I go to a place to visit it and then you spend half an hour standing in a spot just to argue about which place, it's a waste of time.
Yeah, I realized that I need to go with people who are in my same when I travel now. But I was used, because again, I'm older sister, right? So I was used to always organizing, and I traveled with my siblings a few times, and I had to organize everything. And when I was traveling with my friends, I was organizing most of the things. So the main thing also for me to organize a trip that is by myself is like, I get to make all the decisions,
Exactly.
and I don't need to think about anybody else.
That's what I find so beautiful. And it sounds like selfish, but like it's just so nice. If you just go to a place, it's like, I would like to have Mexican food now, and then you just go.
Yeah,
you know?
nobody judges you.
Yeah, but there's a tiny difference if you have people that just don't like making plans. I know that it's quite often women don't like to make decisions on stuff, and then if you go out and like I had one friend and she just always went whatever you say, and then and it was great because I love planning. So I planned everything, and she was just like, fine, because she was always happy with what we did.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's quite nice if you find somebody like that. But
problem is when people don't want to make plans, but then have opinions.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to plan. Oh, but I don't like that, and I don't like that, and I don't want to go there, and I want to have vegetarian. I want to have like, and then it goes like, what?
Yeah,
gets really complicated. Yeah. So the do whatever you want. I have a I did my research. So like the do whatever you want was one of the things I had on here because it's super important. And then the other thing is obviously if you have somebody around you, you quite often, it starts raining. Guys, you might be witnessing a thunderstorm. So yeah, if you're traveling with somebody, you're quite often in your little bubble all the time. You know, like you're only doing things by yourself. You go for the drinks later, you go have lunch together. And it might be more difficult to open up and actually meet new people.
That's true.
While if you travel on your own, it's way more easy. If you sit like if I come here by myself and I would just sit somewhere, somebody would come and say, hey, who are you? What do you do? Like,
yes, this is true. When you travel with a big group or if you travel as a couple, I think it's really hard to open up to other people. I think if it's like two friends or something, then you do tend to interact more with people. But yeah.
Have you traveled with a partner before?
I have traveled with a partner before, yeah. Not that much, but yeah. That was also complicated because I wanted to plan some things and he wanted to just go like with the flow completely. And I was like, you are how to say, stealing me from part of the joy for me for traveling because I love planning.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I like also to be open, but it's like I am enjoying the trip for 6 months before I go because I'm already imagining going
I
to
see it the
place
same way. You're already basically on the trip while you're planning it because you think about all the details and the beauty of it, and then you look even more forward to actually then seeing it and doing it. Yeah, I totally get that. So it's quite often it's been said that if you travel with a partner that it might be the first nail in the coffin of the relationship because it can get like really bad if you're like together for such a long time. I mean, the last time I traveled with a partner, I was a teenager, so it doesn't even count. I mean, I was 20. I was 20 and 21. I traveled with my boyfriend back then. So we did a road trip from Germany to Greece, like all the way through Austria, Italy, and then to Greece. So that was pretty awesome.
I mean, no, it was like a little bit, well, like all things in life, no? There has the good things and the bad things. Like we were both pretty adaptable people, so whatever was happening we were getting along and fine. But it was, for me, it was frustrating because it was like I could remember the places I wanted to go or the places I wanted to stay, and I couldn't because we didn't plan and it was no longer available. So I still have in my list to sleep in a bubble in the beach in Bali, which I couldn't do. So
in the bubble?
Yeah, they have like these bubble hotels, which is not really a hotel. Okay. So imagine it's an inflatable tent, which is a transparent bubble.
And you're basically on the beach?
Yeah, and they put this on the beach for you and they give you a barbecue. So you basically sleep in this bubble under the stars.
Okay, so guys, it's really starting to rain now. And the rain is slightly coming in here. So we have to, like pay attention before the computer gets wet. And there's also these, like, have you seen that in like Norway or somewhere where they have these like glass bubbles where you can see the northern lights from?
Oh,
it looks amazing. But while we're at that, because like one of the things that some places in the world you want to be with a partner, right?
Yeah.
And then there's some places of the world where you might just not want to go by yourself, especially as a woman, because there are a few places
Yes.
that are quite dangerous. For example, for me, that's Egypt, because I really, really want to go to Egypt.
Me too.
But I've heard so many bad stories, especially for white women, and if you have a little bit of lighter color. I had some bad experiences in Tunisia, so I'm like really worried to go to.
I think it's probably better
Egypt.
to go as a group.
Yeah.
Because you never know. Like, I also always say, and I've been traveling a little bit around, and I've lived in Middle East, and the most dangerous thing that ever happened to me was literally like 2 meters from the door of my house, back in like the suburbs of a city in southern Spain, like completely daylight, and I was robbed at a knife to my throat.
God.
So this is super
That's
unlikely
horrible.
to happen, but it made me think.
Sorry, that was some weird animal. I don't know what that was.
It's really, really raining very strongly.
Yeah, it's very strong rain. I feel the rain come, but the computer seems to. We keep going.
Yes.
Okay, the other thing, when you are, it's getting worse. When you are traveling alone and you're making connections,
Yes.
It's really noisy now. Let's get this.
You might
Okay.
need to scream now.
It's a bit of a polarizing experience if you make new conversations or new people. Sometimes the connections that you make are even deeper than with other people that you would meet, but in other times it's quite superficial. So that's quite an interesting thing. You might make the most, like the deepest and most interesting connections when you travel by yourself and talk to strangers.
Call this the Big Brother effect.
Yeah.
Because it's like you were all put in a situation that it's foreign for all of us, so you kind of bond very quickly.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. It's probably why that happens. On the other hand, and again, like having had Clara here was good for me because I had a lot of long, deep conversations that I rarely have, like, because I'm usually just by myself, like in general.
Yeah.
So that was nice having somebody to travel with, to constantly talk to as well. And also about the experiences you had here, just like reflect on it. So it's pretty good. Okay, so the last point, because I think we might have to move and stop this because the rain is getting really heavy, is costs. Because like obviously if you travel alone, it's always more expensive, right? So one of the things that you could do is something like this, like in a more like a communal kind of situation where you have not a shared room, but it's like a shared space, and that way it gets a little cheaper in the end. But otherwise,
and safer. I have to say, because I've been in the nomad circuit for over a year now, and I do try to travel where there is going to be people that I already know.
Yeah.
And the community is quite small. So, but this can be a tip also for people who are not necessarily digital nomads. If you're traveling somewhere and you're not sure, you don't know anyone, you can find the Facebook groups of the nomads in that place. And this is generally people who is very open to know new people. They're gonna help you out. It's quite a cool community.
Usually very helpful people to try and help you on your way to travel and give you any advice that you need. Okay, so we're only like 13 minutes in, but I just want to, in general, like that was like the end of the topic.
Oh, sorry.
So I just wanted to just quickly update you guys on what's happening, because I'm not 100% sure how I can keep up these live streams because the internet here in the co-hub is so good, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if in the next stops we'll have good internet. So I can't promise right now that I can keep this up for every Sunday, but I will try for sure.
Where are you going next?
I'm glad you asked. Next, I'm going to Vietnam.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you should go to Hoi An. There's mini co-hub there, basically.
Yeah, like,
Hoi An.
I'm actually in Hanoi to meet some clients, basically. So
Hanoi will be no problem.
Yeah, and they have an office. So I hope that maybe in the office I can do something. But they have office hours, so the Sunday might not be the best. Well, I'll figure it out. But so after this, on Thursday, I'll leave here. I go to Hanoi for 2 weeks, and then I go to Cambodia for 2 weeks. So, and that will be my my Asia trip for this year. So yeah, what is your next plan? Because this is the
So
last time we're going to see you as well on this.
Yes, so I'm going to, I'm going a few days to Dubai because my company was established there and I opened a branch in Europe. So I'm closing the one in Dubai. And after that, I'm actually going to Philippines for a couple of
Oh,
months.
nice. Where are you going in Europe?
I'm not going in, what?
You said you opened some in Europe. So
I opened in Bulgaria, actually.
okay, so you're not going to go there, or
Not until next year, no.
okay.
So I will be in Asia until March, and
Okay.
then I'll go to Europe.
Yeah, let me know. Like we might be able to meet up again in Europe. Okay. Thank you thank you very much, guys, for watching. And we're going to wrap this up and try and stay dry while the thunderstorm probably rages on for the whole night. All right.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Nada.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, let's finish this one and let's bye Facebook.